Hey gamers and enthusiasts, get ready because today we're going to tell you an incredible story. It's the tale of a silent revolution that transformed the simple passion for video games into a global phenomenon, where millions are won and gigantic stadiums are filled. This is the epic rise of esports. Prepare to discover how it all started, the money involved, and how this industry became a true entertainment giant. Just imagine, only a few decades ago in the late 90s and early 2000s. The internet was a novelty, slow, and playing online was a technical nightmare. But deep down, every gamer felt that little thrill. Competition. Who was the best? Who had mastered the map or the ultimate combo? That's where the first spark of esports ignited. Not in futuristic arenas, but in much more rustic settings. We organized LAN parties, gatherings where dozens, sometimes hundreds of enthusiasts would bring their own PCs, yes, their big towers and massive CRT monitors, often on foot or by bus. To connect them to a local network, we'd play relentlessly for days in gyms, basements, or community halls. The atmosphere? Electric, buzzing with caffeine and pure passion? Games like Quake, launched in 1996, and StarCraft Brood War, released in 1998, became the ultimate playgrounds for these pioneers. In South Korea, StarCraft became a cultural phenomenon, with players treated like local idols and dedicated TV channels, long before the rest of the world caught on. The prizes? Modest. The Red Annihilation Quake tournament in 1997 offered the game creator John Carmack's Ferrari as the grand prize. More symbolic than lucrative, but it already showed the commitment. Early winnings were a few $100s, some hardware, or just the glory and recognition among friends. No one, absolutely no one at the time, imagined that these challenges between enthusiasts would one day become a multi-billion-dollar industry, filling entire stadiums and creating millionaire careers. It was a distant dream, a glimmer of hope for these passionate nerds who were content with glory and a few pizzas. Time passed, and the competitive scene continued to grow, notably with Counter-Strike 1.6, popularized in the early 2000s. International tournaments like the World Cyber Games, launched in 2000, and the Electronic Sports World Cup, ESWC, starting in 2003, began offering prize pools of tens of thousands of dollars. For the first time, earning significant money from gaming became a reality. This is when the idea of professionalization took root. The first salaries. In the early 2000s, a top-tier professional gamer could expect to earn between $300 and $1,000 per month, often supplemented by occasional tournament winnings. It wasn't enough to live comfortably, but it was a start, a recognition of the time and talent invested. These pioneers were often supported by nascent sponsors, gaming peripheral manufacturers like Razer or SteelSeries, who provided equipment and sometimes small amounts of money. The major turning point came with the arrival of visionary game developers who understood the immense economic and cultural potential of competition. In 2009, Riot Games launched League of Legends, and with it, built an unprecedented competitive ecosystem. They invested massively in creating structured leagues, clear rules, and dedicated support for players and teams. Similarly, Valve popularized Dota 2, launched in 2013 with its flagship tournament, The International, and continued to support CS.GO, released in 2012. Later, Blizzard with Overwatch in 2016 also established its own professional league. These developers didn't just create games, they built the foundations of an industry. They guaranteed minimum salaries for players in their leagues, For example, in the League of Legends Championship Series, LCS in North America, guaranteed salaries started around $12,500 per season in 2013, rising to $75,000 per year in 2018 for players in the LCS and LEC. They created professional broadcasting platforms for millions to watch and attracted massive investments. Buckle up, because this is where it gets dizzying. Starting in the 2010s, esports exploded, transforming from a niche interest into a global cultural and sporting phenomenon. It was no longer a well-kept secret. It was a high-speed train no one could ignore. Audience? This is undoubtedly the most impressive figure. We're now talking about hundreds of millions of unique viewers tuning in on platforms like Twitch or YouTube Gaming to watch matches. In 2019, the League of Legends World Championship, Worlds, final peaked at over 44 million concurrent viewers and more than 100 million unique viewers for the entire event. To give you an idea, this sometimes surpassed the viewership of certain NBA playoff games or even the Super Bowl for the 1835 age bracket. Esports proved it was a new entertainment giant, capable of competing with traditional sports in terms of appeal. Winnings? Prize pools became absolutely insane. Dota 2's flagship tournament, the International, consistently broke records. In 2019, its prize pool exceeded 34 million, and even in 2021, it reached an astonishing 40 million. Young gamers, some barely adults, instantly became millionaires after a single victory. For example, American teen Kyle Giersdorf, known as Booga, won $3 million at the Fortnite World Cup in 2019 at just 16 years old. This was the ultimate proof that video games could transform lives and offer riches worthy of the greatest athletes worldwide. Economy? The esports industry now commands several billion dollars. In 2023, global esports revenues were estimated at approximately $1.6 billion, with projections for continued growth, reaching nearly $2.5 billion by 2027. Source: Statista. These revenues come from multiple sources. Sponsorship and advertising. This is the largest share of revenue. Giant brands completely unrelated to video games. Energy drinks like Red Bull, car manufacturers like Mercedes-Benz, clothing brands, or even banks invest fortunes to associate their image with esports teams and events. They understood that esports is the best way to reach a young, connected, and global audience that traditional television struggles to capture. Media rights, platforms like Twitch, YouTube Gaming, or even traditional television channels pay astronomical sums to broadcast competitions. 3. Merchandising and ticketing. Fans buy team jerseys, accessories, and fill entire arenas like Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center, or the Accor Arena in Paris to attend finals. Investments and partnerships. Traditional sports clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, FC Schalke 04, or FC Barcelona have invested heavily by creating their own esports divisions, recognizing the industry's immense potential. Today, esports no longer hides in the shadows. It's everywhere, and its legitimacy continues to grow. Traditional media which ignored video games 20 years ago now cover them seriously. We see reports on channels like ESPN or the BBC, detailed articles in major newspapers like the New York Times or Le Monde. Esports champions are invited onto TV sets, their exploits analyzed like those of any top athlete. Professional leagues like the LEC for League of Legends or the Overwatch League have production values worthy of the biggest sports broadcasts. The convergence with traditional sports is increasingly evident. As mentioned, legendary sports teams have invested by creating their own esports divisions. Paris Saint-Germain Esports is an excellent example. This brings not only financial investment, but also unprecedented credibility and institutional recognition. To truly grasp the magnitude of esports today, we also need to talk about the annual events that punctuate the lives of professional players and millions of fans. These are the pinnacles of competition, the moments where legends are born and prize pools swell. Every year, millions of dollars and thousands of hours of dedication are on the line in these tournaments that define champions' careers. This is arguably the biggest esports event in the world in terms of viewership and prestige. Organized by Riot Games, it typically takes place in October-November each year. Teams from around the globe battle it out after winning their respective regional leagues. LEC for Europe, LCS for North America, LCK for Korea, LPL for China, etc. The World's finals fill gigantic stadiums and break viewership records with each edition, embodying the ultimate trophy every LOL player dreams of lifting. Valve's flagship event for its MOBA, Dota 2. It is globally famous for its record-breaking prize pools, often partly funded by the player community through the sale of an annual Battle Pass. Typically held in August, it gathers the world's best teams for an intense showdown. TI is consistently cited for its prize money, which regularly surpasses that of many major traditional sports, offering millions of dollars to the victorious teams. For fans of tactical FPS, the majors are Counter-Strike's premier tournaments. While there isn't a single centralized league like LoL, several renowned organizers like ESL, PGL, or Blast are designated to host these major tournaments throughout the year, often in the spring and autumn. This is the holy grail for CS teams, recognized for their strategic intensity, lightning-fast action, and the pure emotion they provide to viewers. Relatively new to the scene, launched in 2020, Riot Games' VCT for its tactical FPS, Valorant, has rapidly climbed the ranks to become a major circuit. It is structured with international regional leagues, Americas, EMEA, Pacific, culminating in a global tournament, Valorant Champions, typically held towards the end of the year, August-September. This is where champions are crowned and Valorant legends are forged. This is LoL's second largest international tournament of the year, usually taking place in May. It brings together the mid-season champions from each region, offering a crucial test of strength before the Worlds, and allowing teams to test their strategies against global contenders. The MSI is a pivotal stage for teams, often determining regional seeding for Worlds qualifications. So there you have it, from a few friends gathered in a garage, sharing an Ethernet cable and some pizzas, to competitions filling entire stadiums in front of hundreds of millions of viewers and millions of dollars in prize money. Esports has come an absolutely incredible way. It's the story of passion defying all expectations, of perseverance leading to glory, and of a culture that has conquered the world. Don't forget to like this video if this epic tale captivated you, subscribe to Pixel Saga,